Hello, hello. Welcome to Calc with Cola. So today we're going to talk about infinity limits and what happens if we approach positive or negative infinity, because there's a tiny bit more analysis that's involved. So first thing you want to do is, if you see your limits approaching positive or negative infinity, you want to start by circling the highest power. And what you can see here, circle the highest power on the top and the bottom, is I created the same exact question, except I have approaching positive infinity over here, and over here we're approaching negative infinity. So let's see how that's going to change my answer. If the power is higher on top, you know your answer is positive or negative infinity. It just depends on what we're approaching and the first term, like the leading coefficient in front of the variable with the highest exponent. So what I tell my kids to do now is I say, okay, take the two highest powers and let's analyze it together. So if we're approaching positive infinity, I'm going to take my highest powers, plug in infinity, and we're just doing that to see if my answer is going to be a positive or a negative number. So both of these are positive, which means a positive over a positive is positive infinity. Okay, you have to think of it like, is my infinity going to give me a negative number or a positive number? Because they are both positive when we raise to the fourth n cubed, this answer is going to be positive infinity. But now watch this one. This one's a tiny bit different. You're going to take your highest powers, plug in negative infinity. The top is a positive number because we're being raised to an even power, but the bottom is a negative number because it's negative times negative times negative. So this one is going to have an answer of negative infinity because it's positive over a negative. So anytime you're approaching positive or negative infinity, step one, circle the highest powers. Step two, do my analysis where you actually plug in. And step three, determine if your answer is going to be positive or negative, depending on if you're multiplying or dividing positives or negatives.